everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the manga and manhwa releases for the second half of October. There's quite a few to get through, so let's start with the Kodansha releases. We've got a new series called Blue Lock Episode Nagi. This is a prequel series to Blue Lock. Second-year high school student Ryo Mikage wants nothing more than to escape his illustrious family's shadow by becoming a soccer star and winning the World Cup. The only thing that's missing is a talented diamond in the rough who can help him achieve his dream. That's when he sets his sights on Seishiro Nagi, a notorious slacker whose quick reflexes are the only hint of athletic ability. Can Ryo find the switch to awaken the beast inside Nagi? Ninja vs Gokudo. The Yakuza declare their next battle against the ninja on Tokyo's Teito Highway, the stomping grounds of Japan's legendary biker gangs. With home field advantage, along with a fleet of 30,000 custom-made cars, the Yakuza seem invincible. In comparison, the 5-member ninja team have a Herculean challenge, but they've got overwhelming powers of their own. Can they avoid becoming roadkill? Sketchy Volume 4. As Ako and Shiho learn more about the world of skateboarding, they also get to know Momo, a talented skater who has the potential to be a world champion. But Momo's path to success is blocked by the lack of a skate park in her area. She can only practice on her neighbourhood streets, as long as her parents don't find out. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity Volume 3. Despite the hostile rivalry between their schools, after spending time together, Rintaro and Karuko have begun to feel comfortable around each other. However, even with their growing bond, the barriers between the two schools are so high that Rintaro finds himself at a loss with his friends. The secret of his relationship is putting up walls between them. We've got a new series called Versus. Centuries ago, humanity's natural enemy, demons, invaded the world and defeated humanity. The great demon lord and his generals have since dominated the world, while the human race lives on in fear. In desperation, a group of 47 people gathered from around the world undertake a last-ditch effort to save humanity from ultimate annihilation. These heroes swear to defeat the demon army and win back humanity's freedom, but they have no idea the desperate measures that this battle will drive them to embrace. A Sign of Affection Volume 10. Since they started going out, the handsome and confident Itsuomi has been nothing but kind and caring towards Yuki, his deaf classmate and now girlfriend. The two have knocked down one challenge after another, and now they face the next nerve-wracking challenge, everyday life together. Blue Lock Box Set Season 1 Part 1. It includes volumes 1 to 6 of the Blue Lock manga and an exclusive double-sided poster, so if you like football but haven't picked this series up yet, now is your chance. Blue Period Volume 15. Yatora and his classmates continue their stay in Hiroshima and work on their competition and exhibition pieces, whilst forging ahead on their journey toward adulthood. Kaina of the Great Snow Sea Volume 3. Kaina and Yaona slip away from the palace to save Ririha, who has been taken prisoner by the Valgian navy and is confined to a cage hanging from the mast of the admiral's ship. After an arduous journey, the two would-be rescuers manage to sneak aboard, but not everything goes as planned. Parasite Full Colour Collection Volume 8. This is the final volume of the series, so make sure you pick this one up to see how it all ends. We've got a new series called The Spellbook Library. When he was a child, troublemaker Yan was attacked by a ferocious spell beast until he was rescued by a group of spellbook librarians. Inspired by the librarians' heroic efforts, Yan vows to turn over a new leaf and become a spellbook librarian to repay their kindness. On the day of his employment exam, he meets Toru, a mysterious young boy who has his own reasons for wanting to work at the library. Together, Yan and Toru set off and join the ranks of the spellbook library and begin the long journey to learn just what it takes to become a spellbook librarian. Witch Hat Italia Kitchen Volume 5. Even the most cultured palate has its likes and dislikes, and young apprentices are no exception. So when Kifre receives a gift of bottled starchovies from his former master, he and Olrugio will have to work their usual magic to transform these pungent delicacies into a kid-friendly meal. It includes a variety of real, sweet and savoury recipes with step-by-step instructions. Your Lie in April Omnibus 1. This 610-page omnibus contains the first 3 volumes of Your Lie in April, and contains newly published colour art, translation notes, and comes in a new larger size. For those who don't know, this series follows Kosei Arima, who was a piano prodigy until his cruel taskmaster of a mother died suddenly, changing his life forever. Driven by his pain to abandon piano, Kosei now lives in a monotonous, colourless world. Having resigned himself to a bland life, he is surprised when he meets Miyazono, a violinist with an unorthodox style. Can she bring Kosei back to music and back to life? Blue Lock Volume 15. The match between Blue Lock 11 and the under-20 Japan team continues, and in this one, the demon striker Ryusei Shido is finally let loose and ready to run rampant. Ajin Demon Human Complete Volume 1. This is a re-release of the Ajin series, but in omnibus format. This volume is 620 pages long, and the cover for this is amazing. I think anyway. I love the colour. Gachi Akuta Volume 4. Rudo discovers a clue to returning home, and so he sets out to solve this brand new mystery. Nina the Starry Bride Volume 7. With the line of succession in question and Azure urging Nina to return to Fortuna, tensions rise in Galgade, made worse when Nina is suspected of an assassination attempt. Seraph of the End, Guren Ichinose, Catastrophe at 16. With only 2 days to go until the apocalypse and no idea how to stop it, Guren finds himself forced to ask the inscrutable Mahiru for help. The final countdown has begun, and there is no turning back. All that remains is the promise of catastrophe and one last chance to save the world. Shangri-La Frontier, Volume 14. The big GGC exhibition match between Star Rain and Nitro Squad begins with show-stopping cosplay and Pencilgon's role-playing plan to stall for time. Built on the SLF engine, Galaxia Heroes Chaos pits heroes against villains with near limitless freedom to interact with the environment and NPCs. This provides Pencilgon the perfect canvas to paint the most twisted and malevolent masterpiece of destruction. Moving on to the Yen press releases, we have 15 minutes before we really date Volume 4. As Yuki and Natsuha are in the midst of a little discord, Natsuha loses her confidence and dodges the topic of her future with Yuki. This heartwarming childhood friends to lovers rom-com reaches its conclusion. We're getting a new series called Blade and Bastard. Deep in the unexplored reaches of the dungeon, a corpse is discovered, one that shouldn't exist. After Iarumas is resurrected, his memories of life before death are gone, and he spends his days delving into the dungeon to retrieve the bodies of dead adventurers. Can they be revived as well? And though his skills earn him some grudging respect, he's also scorned for this cold utilitarian attitude that he has. The living keep their distance. That is, until he meets Garbage, a feral young swordswoman who's the sole survivor of a massacred party. With Garbage by his side, Iarumas ventures deeper, scouring the dungeon for clues to his past. Bungo Stray Dogs 1 Volume 9. Shocking disaster strikes the normally peaceful city of Yokohama as Atsushi accidentally spills his ramen all over Kunikida's notebook, and this dastardly tiger's sins don't stop there. Plus, Sigma brings a fresh face and fancy casino to the world of Bungo Stray Dogs as he makes his WAN debut. Elden Ring Volume 4. Asio the Tarnished arrives at the Grand Library, deep inside the Academy of Raya Lucaria, where Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, and the Carian Knight Moongrum wait, and for the decisive match to attain a great rune, the one who holds the key to the battle is that Bluntstone sorcerer? Read to find out more. Final Fantasy Lost Stranger Volume 10. This series follows Square Enix employee Shogo Sasaki, who has a big dream to produce his very own Final Fantasy game with his sister Yuko, but after the siblings are involved in a truck accident, they fall into the world of Final Fantasy. In this one, Shogo is still trying to bring back his sister, and ends up reuniting with Randolph, but when they see him, Sid grows enraged. What sort of grudge is Sid harbouring? Honey Soda Lemon Volume 7. Uka wants more out of her relationship with Kai. Talking with him and receiving his help just aren't good enough anymore. With nothing left to fear, she's decided to be honest about her feelings. I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History Volume 1. The full title is I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History. It seems turning into a highborn baddie makes the prince all the more love-struck, which is quite a mouthful. It's a girl gets reincarnated into her favourite fantasy dating sim story, except she's a girl who hates all those prim and proper heroines, and so she decides to become the world's greatest villain. But to do that, she'll need to get a lot stronger and smarter. Just one problem: the harder she tries to be evil, the harder the prince falls for her. Kakegurui Twins Volume 14. Mary begins to plot her revenge on Yua Shishiba, but Shishiba wants revenge of her own and decides to target Sachiko Jiraku. Laid Back Camp Volume 15. The Outdoor Exploration Club has a new member, Mei, and she's joining them on a club camping trip to Karisaka in Yamanashi. She and Ao head there by bike, but Rin has plans of her own, and she appears to be going solo to Saitama. If you love camping and the outdoors, this series is for you. Lethal Dose of Love. College student Ryosuke was absolutely devastated when Shinobu confessed and then promptly disappeared from his life without waiting for a reply. After desperately searching for years, he is overjoyed when they suddenly meet by chance. His happiness is soon eclipsed by the fact that Shinobu walks off into the arms of another man. Mint Chocolate Volume 12. Nanami sees a person who looks like Suzumura's mum, who left him behind 7 years ago, and she even has a 5-year-old daughter named Koto. Nanami and Ando decide to investigate while keeping it a secret from Suzumura, but he finds out at the worst moment imaginable. Could this be the crisis that breaks up the family? Overlord Volume 19. The Baharuth Empire has laid claim to the kingdom's capital, and Ainz stands at their front lines. The conflict has barely begun, but the kingdom's army already finds itself in shambles at the hands of the necromancer's super-tier spell. Their only options are death or a shameful defeat, as Gasef bravely steps forward. The small animal-like lady is adored by the Ice Prince, Volume 1. Liliana, the daughter of an earl, is in a terrible bind. The Ice Prince, Prince William, hosted a party to find his bride, and she was the lucky guest he chose. Except living a life as royalty is just about the last thing she wants, so her goal is to break off her engagement, the sooner the better. The Witch and the Knight Will Survive Volume 3. The end of this tale is approaching, with Setia in a rampage due to being targeted by the church's forces. Will the Witch and the Knight survive this one? Read to find out. We get Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, second store, and this box set includes volumes 11 to 20 of the series, so don't forget to go out and get this if you want more of this story. Whoever steals this book, Volume 3, Mifuyu is a descendant of a long line of book collectors. One day a book is stolen and she goes out to catch the thief. If you want to know how it all ends, buy this volume because it is the final one in the series. Seven Fates Chako Volume 5. When Zeha learns Hupo is nearby, he rushes over, eager to get revenge and some answers from the enemy. But as they finally cross blades, Zeha only finds more questions. What really happened 4,000 years ago? Who are the real enemies? And what does fate have in store for Team Chako? Ako and Bambi Volume 3. Irifune, Sukuwa, Hana, Azusa. Bit by bit, bonds are changed, and even closer friendships are forged with the people who are around them. However, Ako and her other self remain as distant as ever. With Ako slowly solidifying, will they ever forgive each other and become whole once more, or separate into two different people? Another new series, Beware the Villainess. When a modern-day college student wakes up in the body of Melissa Fodibrat, the villainess of a cliché reverse harem novel, she is determined to cast aside the plot and live a quiet life of luxury. But why are all the men in this novel trash? A sleazebag crown prince, an a-hole sniper, a crazed werewolf, and an obsessive merchant. Melissa can't just stand by and watch the innocent heroine suffer at the hands of these four male leads. I love the front cover of this volume, and I think I will be picking this one up. Bloody Sweet Volume 4. Pt.2 might have rejected his old friend, but Roxana won't take no for an answer, and she's willing to go to extreme measures. Having established herself as a celebrity amongst humans, Roxana reveals Pt.2's true vampiric nature to the entire world. Horimiya, Special Edition A Piece of Memories, Volume 17. Snapshots of the lives of Hori, Miyamura and the gang, a brand new story by the original author Hiro, and the Hori edition of the final story revealed at the Travelling Horimiya exhibition 2021, have all been collected into this volume, celebrating the finale of the original series. Imitation Volume 4. Maha and Ryok are officially dating, but keeping their relationship under wraps is harder than they thought. People are starting to catch on, so when Maha resolves to tell her friends about her new boyfriend, it creates mixed feelings for Hyunji. Itaewon Class Volume 3. Seiroi has achieved his dream of opening a pub in Itaewon, but between Suwa reporting them for serving alcohol to minors, and Seiroi reuniting with his arch-nemesis, things are not all rainbows and sunshine. My Gently Raised Beast Volume 8. The worst-case scenario has come to pass. Barahan has fully regained his powers, and the defenders are helpless before his legion of mind-controlled divine beasts, but not all hope is lost. See You in My 19th Life, Volume 4. An impromptu trip to the seaside becomes an opportunity for Choan and Seah to mend their relationship, but it's also a trip down memory lane for Jium. Whilst reminiscing on her old life as Juwon, Jium gets lost in the past, but when she's caught in a moment of carelessness, Choan becomes increasingly suspicious. Another new series, SSS Class Revival Hunter. Some people are just born lucky, fated to enjoy all the riches and fame, while those beneath fade into obscurity. Gongja Kim, an F-class hunter with 0 skills, is definitely not one of the fortunate ones. He spends his days bemoaning his lame existence and enviously following the exploits of the star hunter Flame Emperor. Then one day, Gongja gets the chance to finally catch up to his idol, when he receives the ability to copy other people's skills. The only catch? He has to be killed by them first. The Boxer Volume 8. Yu's bloody beatdown against Fabrizio is interrupted by the appearance of an unexpected guest, the boxer Jay. This legend is not only making his grand return into the world of boxing, but also to Yu, asking him to remember when they first met. Another new series that has been all over social media, the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. Fashionable and upbeat high schooler Aya falls head over heels for an employee at a local CD shop. He's got an air of mystery about him, always dressed well, and has impeccable taste in music. Little does she know, this supposedly male employee is actually her female classmate Mitsuki. Mitsuki generally keeps to herself, but since her seat is right next to Aya's, she can't help but be extremely aware of the other's crush. Revealing the truth is out of the question, but perhaps getting close to Aya wouldn't be so bad. The Three-Body Problem Comic Edition Volume 1. So this is based off the novel The Three-Body Problem, which was also made into a TV series. If you love sci-fi, this is definitely for you. Lycoris Recoil Volume 1. Japan. A nation where vicious crime and terror have been all but eliminated. And who keeps the peace? Cute schoolgirls, of course. Those uniformed youths you see on the street corners and in stylish cafes may just be agents of Lycoris, with pistols in their purses and missions on their mind. Dark Horse Comics is releasing Cat and Gamer Volume 6. This funny manga series follows office worker Riko Kozukura, who has successfully expanded to a 2-cat party at home. Living with cats Musubi and Soboro every day is an adventure, and in her daily quests, Riko couldn't ask for a better team, leveling up in skills, surprises and adventures. Dandadan Volume 9. A seemingly unbeatable kaiju is on the attack. Okarun hits on the idea of revisualizing the nanoskin that repaired Momo's house into a form they can use to fight back, but he lacks the imagination needed, so it's Kinta Sakata to the rescue. The nerd uses his vast knowledge of sci-fi to transform Momo's house into... well, you're going to have to read to find out. Mission Yozakura Family Volume 13. The Yozakura siblings take a trip to the ominous and decaying Yozakura residence, which is said to be haunted. There they are confronted by the second head of the Yozakura family, Lady Ninomae, but she's supposed to be long dead, so what does it mean? Record of Ragnarok Volume 12. Round 6 is in full swing, with Buddha battling the enraged Zerofuku. Zerofuku, long frustrated by Buddha's ability to bring happiness to people, digs further into the darkest depths of his soul, trying to find an advantage. What he comes up with is a new horror even Buddha doesn't see coming. Red River 3-in-1 Edition Volume 1. This is a classic shoujo beat series that was originally printed in English in 2004. Fans have been clamouring to have it reprinted, and finally Viz have listened. They are being released as omnibus editions, and this contains volumes 1, 2 and 3. For those who don't know, it follows Yuri, a teenager who is transported from modern day to ancient times. There she becomes entangled in the social and political drama of a fractured royal family, and she must learn how to survive in this time. But before you get too excited about this release, I looked at the release date on online shops in the UK, and they are saying that it's going to be released in November. So I don't know if that's the same in other countries, but just to give you a heads up there. Snowball Earth Volume 3. After meeting the survivors of the icy apocalypse, who are holed up in Mishima Mall, Tetsuro makes a few attempts at making friends. His defeat of the kaiju that attacked the mall has made him a hero to the inhabitants. But before he can establish any firm relationships, a new threat appears. Steel of the Celestial Shadows Volume 4. Down-and-out samurai Konosuke has a supernatural gift, but it is a power that has ruined his life. For the gifted, their abilities can be a double-edged sword, granting amazing abilities, yet threatening to overwhelm them at the same time. In this one, a new ally relates the secret story of Lord Haritake of the Tsuchimikado clan. Konosuke will stop at nothing to find his love, Tsuki, but Lord Haritake needs her divine power for his own dark plans. Undead Unlock Volume 17. Fuko and the others have set out to capture Unavoidable, leading Fuko to challenge boxing champion Void Volks to a match before his negation abilities manifest. Let's just say she has some seriously bad luck. Boys Abyss Volume 7. As Reiji and his mother recover in the hospital from their injuries, they receive a series of visitors with differing agendas: Gen, Esamori and Chako. Meanwhile, Gen not only reveals a dark secret from his past, but makes a surprising love confession. My Name is Shingo, The Perfect Edition Volume 3. For those who don't know, this is a chilling science fiction tale of humanity and artificial intelligence. In this one, when Satoru is dragged off to Niigata and Marin is taken to England, that leaves the robot Monroe alone at the factory. The abandoned Monroe then escapes, leaving all three friends to face the world without one another. Vampire Knight Complete Box Set. This box set includes volumes 1 to 19 of Vampire Knight, as well as the Day Class Planner and an exclusive art book. For those who don't know about this series, it is set in Cross Academy, which is attended by two groups of students, the Day Class and the Night Class. At twilight, when the students of the Day Class return to their dorm, they cross paths with the Night Class on their way to school. Yuki and Zero are the guardians of the school, protecting the Day Class from the Academy's dark secret. The Night Class is full of vampires. JoJo A Go-Go. This hardcover art book collects exclusive illustrations and colour pages from Stardust Crusaders, Diamond is Unbreakable and Golden Wind, and a small peek at Stone Ocean. Moving on to the 7 Seas Entertainment releases, we have My New Life as a Cat Volume 7. Nyao has had a taste of the good life as a cat, and even he would admit he's starting to lose track of his goal to hunt down his old human body. He's taking mental health days with Chica, playing hide and seek, and even going on a kitty diet. A dilemma is looming for our fluffy little hero. Does he even miss his old life? Lonely Castle in the Mirror Volume 4. The kids had promised each other that they'd all attend school on January the 10th, but when the day finally comes, the 7 kids fail to meet up. With the key still missing, the month of Ukami-sama's deadline finally arrives. A new series called The Barbarian's Bride. In this fantasy manga, a captured knight finds herself betrothed to the leader of the very tribe she was sent to fight. Will Serafina face a cruel and abusive arranged marriage, or will she discover that these tribes aren't as barbaric as she was led to believe? Night of the Living Cat Volume 5. A new threat emerges when the base is attacked by a horde of animals being controlled by cats. Can humanity survive? What He Who Doesn't Believe in Fate Says, Volume 5. Yuka and her long-term friend Kosuke have settled into a steady and comfortable rhythm together, but a beautiful woman has arrived to throw them out of sync. This stranger claims to be Kosuke's one true love, and the red string disappears from Yuka's sight. She's always believed in fate, but what will she do now that it's abandoned her? Stay By My Side After the Rain Volume 2. Every day Kanade and Mashiro spend together is new and exciting, and just a little bittersweet. When Mashiro's mother pays an unexpected visit, it becomes clear that Mashiro has been hiding something. Volume 4 of Even Dogs Go to the Other Worlds. This is an isekai where an office worker is transported to another world with his dog. In this one, Takumi is trying to sell his herb-selling contract to Eckenhart, head of the Liebert household. Will his dog be able to help him? This will be out on the 22nd of October. Volume 10 of Skip and Loafer. Matsumi is making the most of her sun-drenched summer vacation, surrounded by friends and family. Whether pondering the prospect of romance or just hanging out, she only has one wish: to have a great time with the people she cares about. Royal Tailor Clothier to the Crown Volume 2. Hannah has made many new friends since becoming the Royal Tailor, but not everyone is happy for her. The world Hannah lives in is not very kind to humans, and some people don't approve of Hannah having such an important job. When the priest who raised her at the orphanage hears about her new line of work, he becomes worried about her. Can Hannah prove herself to both her friends and foes? Throw Away the Suit Together Volume 2. Haru and Hee-chan left Tokyo, throwing their resumes into the ocean and running away to settle on an island. A dreamlike world presented itself to them, but the realities of living on their own quickly piled up. Even with part-time work, worries about the future begin to slow them down. As concerns about long-term work and living expenses weigh on them, will this couple find themselves forced back to city life? The Lady Knight and the Beast-Eared Child Volume 1. In this fantasy manga, an unlikely pair finds beauty in their shared journey through a brutal world. Olivia was a lone monster subjugator who refused to take on an apprentice until she rescued a young beastkin named Noah. Now they look out for one another in an often brutal world. As Olivia teaches Noah the art of battle, he teaches her how to enjoy life's quieter moments. But can a boy with such a tender heart live up to his apprenticeship when faced with terrifying foes? Checkmate Volume 1. This is a full-colour BL manhwa webtoon. Detached, disinterested, dispassionate. All words used to describe Soo-hyun and his uneventful mediocre life. As a teen, he had a fire, a passion burning within, all thanks to one person, bright-haired and brilliant Yunsung. Throughout high school, Soo-hyun obsessively competed with Yunsung for the top spot in all things, only to consistently come in second place. And as high school ended without victory, so did his passion for anything. But all this changes when, as an adult, he suddenly sees Yunsung again, except the man is in the news, embroiled in scandal. Seeing Yunsung in a state of shame ignites something in Soo-hyun. Fiery hate, long thought dead, comes alive within him once more. Determined to see a fallen Yunsung with his own eyes, Soo-hyun reinvents himself as a reporter and begins dishing out one dirty article after another. He is sure that with each scathing article, Yunsung will come crawling to Soo-hyun and begging for mercy. Except, who is being manipulated and who is the manipulator? Tiger and Dragon Volume 1. This is a shoujo manga about a love triangle between childhood friends. When Konomi was 5 years old, her best friend and neighbour Kagetora moved away. After 10 years with no communication, Konomi decides it's time to finally move on from her childhood crush. Luckily, with her other childhood friend Tatsuomi waiting in the wings, it looks like romance is right around the corner. That is, until Kagetora suddenly reappears, and Konomi's love life is thrown into chaos. The Dangerous Convenience Store Volume 4. After learning more about Gunwoo's shrouded past, Yoo-jun realises he's in love with him. Just as Yoo-jun finally decides to tell him how he feels, Gunwoo vanishes. Whilst trying to find him, Yoo-jun receives a call about his hospitalised brother, whose condition has taken a turn for the worse. With Gunwoo's absence, who can Yoo-jun turn to? Monster Cats Volume 2. Spend more time with old Monster Cat friends and meet some new ones too. What's it like to have a cat that's also a gnome, a banshee, a gorgon, or a kelpie? Moving on to the TokyoPop releases, The Gardener's Favourite Poisonous Flower. When Ollie gets stranded without permit or paperwork in the authoritarian city-state of Bellotes, the only place that will hire him is as a caretaker or gardener at a male brothel. But when Ollie's considerate, gentle nature and pure heart catch the eye of the tempestuous Aconite, what begins as idle seduction soon blooms into something deeper. And that is out on the 22nd of October. A Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation Volume 9. In this one, Lyselle's strategy to keep out the monsters who are attacking the gates of Marseille seem to be working, but will the strategy hold against the variant ruler who has magic up his sleeve? And the one the fans have been waiting for? Fangs Volume 3. Since he became a vampire, En has been living with his handsome guardian and mentor, Ichi, of the vampire health and welfare organisation, Fangs. But although the attraction between the two of them has become undeniable and unavoidable, Ichi still can't bring himself to share the painful scars of his past to the naive and happy-go-lucky En. Dark rumours are on the rise as a growing sense of fear pervades their vampire community. What happened 30 years ago? What does Ichi have to atone for? Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas full-colour manga edition. This 176-page full-colour manga is for all the Nightmare Before Christmas fans out there, and that's going to be out on the 31st of October. From Square Enix, Soul Eater Not, the perfect edition. Tsugumi and her pair of potential partners enjoy a girls' day at the local Death Bazaar, until Eternal Feather, their friend and mentor, begins to attack innocent shoppers. Who is the mysterious witch behind the recent string of violent outbursts? And what is she plotting for Halloween when Tsugumi must choose either Meme or Anya to be her official Meister? Those are most of the manga and manhwa releases for the second half of October. There were a lot of new series as well, which is really exciting. I hope there's something there that you are interested in, and if you are, feel free to use the code JaysManga at SciFier.com. That will get you an extra 5% off their already discounted prices. Let me know in the comments below what you are interested in buying. I hope you have a lovely manga reading month, everyone. Bye!